When I woke up in the morning, I knew something was off. Pretty soon, I noticed that I was missing a tooth. Upper set, one of the front ones. I'm not a particularly vain person, but losing a tooth upset me a lot. I mean, just a few weeks ago, I had noticed my hair was thinning. Now this. My anxiety flared and my mind exploded with reasons why my tooth could have fallen out. Was it because I only brushed my teeth once a day on the weekends, or was it something with my gums? I thought. I went through the day with my upper lip curled over my teeth and my mind filled with every possible reason why my tooth was gone. The next morning, I was missing another one. Bottom, towards the back. No blood, no pain. There was a hole there. I couldn't keep my tongue out of it, but that was it. I had to make an appointment with my dentist, and I didn't want to talk to anybody in fear of showing my newly, shall we say, excavated mouth. On the third day, 3 teeth on the top and bottom were gone. I almost cried. I was single, and all I could think about was how no woman would want with somebody with such a fucked up mouth. Every few minutes, I reached into my mouth to push and pull my teeth just to see if they were loose. And this led me to worry if I was making them loose by all the tugging. I didn't go to work. I just called my dentist half a dozen times, trying to get him to see me as soon as possible. Anxiety burnt me out. So after I carefully brushed my teeth, I went to bed early. I don't know when I woke up, but that's when I saw him. I don't know why I didn't scream or jump back against my headboard. Somehow I just stayed still and watched him through my slivered open eyes. In the dark, I could just barely see the outline of his hunched back. Pale and waxy his face was, with thin glasses. Couldn't see much of his face, but what I did see, I didn't see anything pleasant. And then he put his hands in my mouth. I taste leather and short, fat fingers. They pinch one of my teeth. And then a sharp, quick slice into my gum, and then a gap. He then took 4 more of my teeth, creaked out of my room. The floorboards didn't squeak, and my door hinge didn't whine while he closed it. He was like a fucking ghost. I didn't even hear the door open and close. All I heard was a car starting and pulling out of the driveway. I didn't go anywhere the next day. Dentist's office called, but I didn't answer the phone or listen to their voicemails. I didn't even move out of bed. Hunger didn't really bother me. I had fewer teeth than a jack-o'-lantern, and I couldn't even imagine trying to chew with this asymmetrical mouth. My mouth was dry, but I just couldn't get water. When I thought about water, I thought about floods and mudslides, washing away hills and houses and gums, and my remaining teeth sliding down the back of my throat. I felt they were so loose, so painfully loose. And he came back that night and took 3 more. When he left, I followed. Where he walked, I walked with him. Floorboards squeaked and hinges whined, but he didn't look back. I saw his car, some old steel boat with fins and white walls, and he pulled out. I ran to my car and went after him. I had to know where he was going. I wanted to know what this sick fuck was up to. I kept my distance, trying to make sure he didn't see me. There were no cars on the road. Nothing. He must have seen me, and he must have recognized me because his headlamps were up and he'd seen my car before. But we headed to the boondocks. Rural roads I'd never been on. Dark, narrow, twisting and turning back and forth, rising up into fog, then dipping down again. Trees flanking us, no moon or stars, just headlights. And then I had a thought. Why wasn't this guy trying to lose me? I mean, obviously he's seen me, so why wouldn't he try and lead me somewhere else? Lead me and then lose me? And then it hit me. After a long curving ride up and down a mountain, I started to see familiar roads. The guy was fucking with me. We went in a big circle. These were streets that took us to the backwoods. Exact streets. We were going back to my house. But it wasn't the boondocks. It wasn't even the same roads. They were similar, but they were different. Certain people's houses were in different locations. People's buildings were slightly shorter and some were slightly higher than others, and it felt like this place had been replicated from my town. We were going back to my house, and it wasn't my house. It looked like my house. Mailbox was right to the driveway, like mine, but this place had strange little differences, like the amount of windows, where the chimney was. All was a bit strange. He parked his car and walked inside. I followed right behind. I knew where he was going and how to get there, my bedroom. And I walked in back and pushed open the door and lay up and found this lump and him working. The lump was oddly like a human. The man probably had sculpted crude arms and a neck and a soft dented jawline. On top of the head was an uneven sparse of tufted hair, brown, same as mine. I watched him open up the lump's limpless, ovoid mouth with the crafter's precision, and he carefully set my teeth into its gums. After they were in, he grabbed them, wiggled them, tugged on them. They wouldn't budge. And then he turned and looked at me. I got a good look at him. The face was the same evil, waxy white, and the eyes behind his glasses were little more than pinpricks of a pupil. He was hunched, and instead of fingers, he just had small knives, like scalpels, instruments that you would use for doctoring and such. And then he opened his mouth wide, unhinged his jaw. All I could see was teeth, sloppily spiraling around the inside of his mouth until they disappeared into the dark of his throat. I woke up the next day. My real house, mind you. A few more nights before my teeth were gone. And then I started to lose my fingernails and toenails, and last night he took my lips. And now there's a gaping hole instead of my mouth. I don't know what he'll take next, but I followed him again, and I saw myself half-formed in that bed. This mimicry. It's unfinished, and I know there's a lot of work to be done.